Danganronpa.
Hello and welcome back to more Danganronpa Trigger. Happy Havoc. Today we are going over the case files quickly. There's a few things that are a little out of place here. One being the stain in the boys' locker room. Sakura is telling us how she spilled coffee in the girls' locker room and there wasn't a stain anymore. Also, the method of killing from the pictures we've seen is a little different. So that's another thing I find strange. Not to mention Chihiro's handbook is missing. And there's the blood-splattered poster. So there's a lot of strange things here. So I guess, now that we've looked over everything, I'm ready to go on in and see if we can crack this mystery open. I still have no idea who this is. Hopefully we'll find it out during the investigation. Or not the investigation. The trial. So is everyone ready to what? Am I blind? Or am I missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Togo's not here. And Togo is? You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? He's a crucial part of the correct trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here. Kicking and screaming, just 1 moment, please. And just like that, he said a few minutes later, he reappeared dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible, you're terrible. Well, so now everyone's here, right? Okay then, let's all enter the elevator. Let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Oh dear. So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm, and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. There's one of us, that's for sure. Let's talk to everybody.
Come on.
Fucking Togo, man. What's got her so worked up? Well, we can just probably skip past them. Miss Fujisaki, I must have meant for being 3D. She was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? Okay. You ready? We're doing this.
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual. Just screaming. I have no mouth, but I must scream. There's something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. You're just hiding. I guess I wasn't much help at all on this one. Yeah. I give you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Okay, Byakuya. I guess it's off to the class trial now.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked towards the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Oh shit, it's going down. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I can't get a handle on my emotions. Oh, I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. As we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Well, yeah, it's a goddamn machine, not a person. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I've redecorated! Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good, good. Chihiro! Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, let's get this show on the road!
thrills, chills, kills!
I still love that. Thrills, chills, kills! Everyone, please find your assigned seats! And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. I guess I'll save. Thank you very much. I do like saving, after all. Okay, yeah, I'm done saving now. Alright, let's, I guess, set some skills. We have that skill we got from the Sayaka. We also have Algorithm. Increase the speed of memorizing a statement, effective during the non-stop debate. Alright, works for me. I don't think we have anything else. Open my handbook! Hello, and we're back. Now we're done our preparations. I think we have both skills, and no, we do not. I thought we already equipped the skills. That's the new one we got. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. Effective during the non-stop debate. So let's equip that too. That's the one we got from Chihiro, so I'm still salty about that. I wanted to see her more. Now we never can. Oh well. And we're done our preparations, as we've already looked at the evidence. We'll be fine.
Let's begin with a base if you...
No, we don't need it.
I'll punish everyone. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Oh, okay. First we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. We know this one.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Not much is certain.
The Monokuma file. The killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, it wasn't an iron pipe. It was the dumbbell.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Damn, someone's got a tough stomach.
Yay! That's so creepy!
And very helpful.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack. Gotta say it like kinda country, Genocide Jack. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Why not? White noise. Okay, for this debate, lines of white noise will appear to destroy... Think of them as obstacles, alrighty. Okay, so be careful not to shoot the actual remarks, which are in, I believe, orange. We basically gotta shoot these with a silencer. Alright, makes sense. That's how they're making this a little tougher on us. Thankfully, with the slow-mo, though.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
There is proof. There's that case file we got from Byakuya earlier.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
I don't know. Ask Monoguma.
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Yamada, you deserve a medal.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, that's probably has to do with, how the victims were positioned.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Oh my gosh, how horrifying!
In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Oh.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Well, Toko is crazy.
You lie! What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle. Might not be Toko. I think we heard about something called multiple personality disorder, otherwise known as split personality. That probably has something to do with it. Another Hangsman's Gambit. S maybe? Let's try a C. Schizo? Is that what it's trying to say? Okay, schizo. Does it mean schizophrenia? Because that's not split personality disorder. I'm a little confused.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Then again, Toko does seem to have schizophrenia.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have... what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
Well, it's not the fact that she fainted, it's the fact that she went batshit crazy, or actually she wasn't as crazy when she woke up. That's the weird part, except for that laugh. That was creepy as all heck.
I got it!
She was already crazy before she fainted.
How she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
What? Is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fell. The world has a front and a back, a top inning and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. That sounds quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control! That's what you meant by that. To drive out the killer and to drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
He ain't wrong.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
But don't worry, never again. Never again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
Lunged backward? What? Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. What is it, some last Exorcist stuff up in here? A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Okay. Tongues don't move like that, and I'm pretty sure they're not that long.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Genocide Jill, alrighty then.
What the fuck is this? Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
This character's so good.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
It's almost jarring.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane. I did say she was crazy, but this is another step towards crazy. I might even go past that and go to insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Oh, sorry, Monokuma.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
What's the motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
That makes a ton of
If a
sense.
secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
What?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Like I said, we were missing the scissors, so it's all coming together now.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get more details about all of this. Well, it's strange, that's for sure. I didn't expect that. Stabs the dead body, like Makoto just...
But I didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, we know you didn't.
But do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, the stats of dead body's actually a little different. That's what we've come to realize. It's not killed with blunt objects.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
As in the pictures we saw, there was a ton of scissors.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Not a big-ass cannibal-like club weapon.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murder.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Oh jeez. Yeah, she's off the deep end. There's a method to this madness probably, though.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you
saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Well, how the body was a suspicion? Well, the problem here is what was used as a suspender. They were using scissors somehow into solid concrete walls.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
What? I guess that keeps people from tracking them.
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
There's more?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
He doesn't look like a burger.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Right. If you look back at all the names and the few pictures we did see... Wow, I can't believe I didn't notice that before. If you look at the names of every victim, what you notice is... why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Well, she was a girl.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
We completely missed that one.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all male.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
It's creepy, but she has somewhat of an alibi, I guess.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly car!
Oh geez, that's usually how Togami talks.
Slowly. Cur.
It's like, really? Couldn't come up with anything better.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
More than some. Quite a bit, actually.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
What? Did she have those on her the whole time?
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
That's a good point.
Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
It's not something to laugh about, not being able to tie knots.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
There's only one person that knew about this before us, and that was Togami, the man that showed us. That's the only one that makes sense at the moment anyways. First we thought it was Jill, and now we think it's Togami.
It's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
He also said it was one of his favorite.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
I don't know what to say, Jill. That's not a thing to be on fire about.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the bodies is a little strange.
They're very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? How suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Alright, I think I got this figured out, but I want to know what they're talking about here, because a new element's been added. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button, or if you touch and hold, you'll memorize that weak spot. You can only shoot them once, because they turn into a truth bullet. Like a phantom truth bullet, I guess? Can I use as many times as I want? That's good. Yes, we will have to use our keen wits. Alright, thanks for the fun wishing luck stuff, I guess. Make your argument!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
the victim...
Was Chihiro, who... So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time...
Pointless distraction. What's so strange?
There's our contradiction.
So, you
Alright, let's see if we can get this down. Triangle? I think we have it. Yeah, it's memorized now.
But he was acting weird. If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the...
I hope this is right.
Was Chihiro, who...
But no one knew who the murderer was.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that, because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak. What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is, I think.
There is more to it. think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Looks like we're not going to get any more out of Kirigiri. Well, could it be indeed? This is a fair bit harder than the last case. Ah, the library desk lamp, right. There's that extension cord that he was using.
When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors.
Yes, we know.
Scissors to arrange the bodies.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
Wasn't a rope.
It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
I know, it wasn't a rope, though.
No, it's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
That would probably be what they came up with. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Sure. Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but what does that mean? Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. Well, the thing is, there is something off about the scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
Sakura's account's coming in handy now.
I believe I do.
Did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya would have... or who'd been so confident up till now? Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been someplace else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows it took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys and the girls' locker room. Okay, it was either the rugs or the posters. The posters make the most sense, because one has blood on them.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
Well, the one has blood on it, too.
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
Right, Sucker's account talking about the rug. And I have the stain that mysteriously disappeared. But now the boys' locker room has a stain.
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away, it was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
And we got Sakura to confirm it.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
That is a good point.
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
She would have had to get someone's handbook.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
No, he can for once. We saw him snooping around where the mailbox was.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
No, we both know how we did it. Or we all do anyways. I mean, how she did it. Broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
No.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
From what Monokuma says, that's almost impossible.
I used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
Yep, the broken one. Her handbook's missing.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
That is a good point, and the other two are female. What does it mean, then? Could she have loaned someone's, or... No, that can't happen either.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
How would we know it's not Leon's handbook since it's broken and won't turn on?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup!
hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst. You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
So she can't modify it like I thought.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
And why would all the stuff be switched?
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya was the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting?
Munakuma's like,
Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
let's add to it, he'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Yes, we shall go. So, before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in lead. Alright, guys and gals, that's the end of today's episode. If you did enjoy the episode, please do leave a like and a comment. And I'll see you next time on Let's Play Danganronpa Trigger, where we'll finish the trial.